Far away in the middle of the ocean, there's a place no one lives. No land, no people, just endless waves. But deep below, secrets sleep in silence. Old rockets, lost satellites, a graveyard in the sea. The place is called Point Nemo. In 1977, something strange echoed from the depths of the ocean. A sound so powerful, so mysterious, that it left scientists scratching their heads. This wasn't your average sonar ping or whale song. This was something entirely different. The sound had a very low frequency, but a massive amplitude, so loud that it was picked up by sensors over 5,000 kilometers apart. After months of analysis, researchers at NOAA, the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, pinpointed the source, a remote patch of the South Pacific Ocean, a place so far from civilization you could vanish there and never be found. They called the sound the bloop. Theories exploded across the scientific world. Was it a new kind of deep-sea creature, a colossal squid the size of an aircraft carrier, or something not of this earth? The sound was organic in nature. It had a profile similar to that of a marine animal or something else. No known creature on Earth could have created a noise that loud. That's when the name the bloop captured the public's imagination. People imagined Leviathan's massive, undiscovered beasts lurking in the dark. H.P. Lovecraft fans even noticed the sound's coordinates were eerily close to the fictional sunken city of Aralaya, home of the cosmic horror Cthulhu. Coincidence? Maybe something else we don't know yet. But the story doesn't stop there. In 2012, NOAA released a new statement. They claimed that the bloop was caused by ice quakes, massive blocks of ice breaking off Antarctic glaciers and plunging into the sea. That sound, they argued, could travel great distances underwater. Mystery solved, or so it seemed, but some oceanographers weren't convinced. Why had it taken 15 years to reach this conclusion? And why did the bloop sound so different from other ice quakes recorded before or since? It was still too alive. And then came a second twist. The exact coordinates where the bloop was recorded. They weren't just mysterious, they were legendary. The location is called Point Nemo, and it's officially the most remote location on planet Earth. Point Nemo is over 2,600 kilometers from the nearest landmass. To put that in perspective, if you were stranded there, the closest human being would be on the International Space Station, orbiting high above you. No people, no boats, no help. Just ocean in every direction for thousands of kilometers. It's surrounded by what's called the South Pacific Gyre, a vast swirl of ocean currents that traps water in place. This makes the region incredibly nutrient-poor and nearly devoid of life. Even marine biologists refer to it as an oceanic desert. Some bacteria, maybe a squid or two, but mostly just silence. No wonder it became the perfect hiding place for mysteries and for the dead. Because Point Nemo isn't just where the bloop was heard, it's also a spacecraft graveyard. Since the 1970s, more than 260 spacecraft have been deliberately crashed into this exact spot. Satellites, cargo ships, rocket stages, and even entire space stations. When these massive machines reach the end of their missions, engineers guide them through controlled re-entries, aiming for the vast empty ocean around Point Nemo. It's one of the only places on Earth where you can be certain that crashing debris won't hit people, property, or ships. In 2001, the Russian space station Mir, a 120-ton behemoth, was deorbited and sent plunging into the waters near Point Nemo. What would be the next major crash? The International Space Station. Scheduled to retire in the early 2030s, the ISS will eventually meet the same fate, descending in a blaze of fire and smoke before its charred remains splash into Point Nemo's silent sea. But the practice isn't without risk. Back in 1978, a Soviet satellite named Cosmos 954 malfunctioned and re-entered Earth's atmosphere unexpectedly. It scattered radioactive debris across over 120,000 square kilometers of northern Canada. An emergency operation called Operation Morning Light had to be launched to track and collect fragments of uranium-powered wreckage. Then, in 1997, an Oklahoma woman named Lottie Williams was walking through a park at night when she felt a sharp tap on her shoulder. She looked down and found a warm, metallic shard, later identified as debris from a disintegrating rocket. She wasn't hurt, but the message was clear: space debris is dangerous, which is why precision is everything. As spacecraft descend toward Earth, they travel at speeds over 28,000 kilometers per hour. To survive re-entry, engineers carefully calculate the angle, speed, and timing, guiding the spacecraft into Earth's atmosphere like a surfer catching the perfect wave. Too steep and it burns up, too shallow and it skips off the atmosphere like a stone on water. At about 120 kilometers up, the spacecraft begins to glow. At 80 kilometers, it becomes a fireball, burning at over 3,000 degrees Celsius. Most of it vaporizes, but some chunks make it through and they fall, fiery, smoking and silent, into Point Nemo's waters. If you're wondering how Point Nemo got its name, it comes from Latin. Nemo means no one. Fitting, don't you think? No one lives there. No one can reach it easily. And maybe no one is supposed to. Even ships avoid it. Even life avoids it. And yet, something called out from the deep in 1977. A low, mournful groan, louder than any whale, deeper than any known fish. What if the sound wasn't an animal or an ice quake? What if it was a message or a warning? The truth is, we still don't know what caused the bloop, and Point Nemo remains unexplored. In fact, no one has ever physically visited it. The man who calculated its coordinates in 1992, Canadian engineer Hervoje Lucatella, did it all using computer models and ocean current data. Even submarines avoid that part of the ocean. It's just too remote, too dangerous. But it won't stay that way forever. Oceanographers dream of launching deep-sea drones to explore Point Nemo. They hope to uncover new life forms, maybe even things we thought were impossible. Imagine ancient creatures adapted to total darkness, high pressure and freezing temperatures. Things that have never seen sunlight or human eyes. Maybe the bloop wasn't the last message from the deep, or maybe we can say it was the message. So the next time you look out over the ocean and see only blue, remember that somewhere out there lies a place untouched by time, a place where no one goes, a place where secrets fall from space and vanish into the deep, a place called Point Nemo. If you enjoyed this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more fascinating tales from the edge of science and mystery. Until next time, keep looking beyond the surface.